I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Hey guys, we're out today on another medical transport handicap shuttle, whatever and stuff. We are out at the I don't know, can you see that? Southview Hospital, and I'm out here, and we are out sitting. Dad and I we just dropped T and Mom off, and we're waiting to get a phone call, see what happens and stuff. She's in there getting shots in what used to be her joint, the shoulder and stuff. The ball and socket has deteriorated from the arthritis, where she has the Sjogren's and her autoimmune disease. Her body's eating away at itself, so it ate that joint out. So they have to put some shots in there to basically kill all the sensation, because the pain's horrendous. Anyway, we're out here today. So today I wanted to talk about got off track, sorry, I'm tired. Wanted to talk about if any of you guys remembered back in the day, mid to late 60s, early 70s, when radial tires, the new radial designs from bias ply to radial tires was switching over in different things. And when I worked at the dealership up at the Hopkins Chevy Olds dealership and stuff, we used to get people that would come in and wanted some of their new radial tires. Oh, get me some of them radial tires. And they'd get them put on their cars, and they'd go driving down the road, and they'd come back in a matter of days wanting the tires taken off and their old tires back, because in the day the radial tires had a lot, nobody was used to that shimmy, that side to side sway shimmy thing, and they weren't used to the difference in tire pressure or tread pattern or grip or sidewall strength and all that. So it was really interesting that we had a big rash, like I said, late 60s, early 70s, of people that came in to get them, or they were putting them on the used cars as they came in for service to put new tires on. In the early days, the radials, and like I said, you guys let me know if any of you guys have run into this or were familiar with it. The early days, the tires, the new radials and stuff, once they were ran in one direction, like normal cars, you would rotate the tires from side to side, front to back, spare out. Your best tire would always go on the front passenger side, because that's the tire that always hit the most debris or had the most road damage, potholes, so forth and so on, would always happen over there. So you always put your best tire, but you would rotate the tires. And then radial tires, when they first came out, and I've had many of discussions, close on arguments with individuals about this, but when they first came out, they were basically directional tires. They weren't, that wasn't what they were claimed to be. But what happens is, in the early days when they were first manufacturing those, if you ran a radial tire on the left side and it ran in that direction, you shouldn't, it didn't say this officially, put it on the right side and run it in the back direction, because the tires, those early radials, tended to cure, for lack of a better term, with all of the compound molecules binding in one direction because of that spin. If you put them around on the other side, and I have personally seen this, so that's why I'm saying it may not have been an official thing or well-known thing, but if you put them on the other side, after 100 miles or so, they would separate and explode. Brand new tires, within a year, they would separate and explode. So that's when they started going, you rotate your tires front to back. And then, of course, by then you didn't have to put the spare on the ground like you did the old bias plies, because by then they had all those space saver spares, those inflators, or the permanent donut ring things and stuff. And by the way, guys, I still see this today, where they're running those donut rings on front wheel drive cars. They're running those donut rings on the front. Okay, you're supposed to, if you want your transmission to last long term, you're supposed to take and put matching sets on the front. Even though if you have a front flat tire that goes flat, take one of the rear off, put it on the front, take that donut ring, put on the back on the dead axle and stuff, not the drive axle, put it on the back, because that will destroy an automatic transmission. And the torque steer is going to be crazy because it's going to keep kicking in and out and in and out, in and out, trying to pull in the largest diameter section, whatever. Then again, as I always say, my disclaimer, what the hell do I know? I'm just letting you know. So anyway, I still see people doing that, just destroying their transmissions. And I mean, you can hear them, and definitely it just screws up the limited slip ability, the radius turning on those cars and everything. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see that some companies are actually, Cooper and a couple of the other ones, and I can't think of the name, but they're starting to reproduce some of the bias ply tires for cars. For the period correctness and stuff of your hot rods, or the muscle cars and everything. So they're starting to redo those. They are making some that look like bias ply tires but are still radial tires, but they are making some bias ply tires. Some of the red lines, the old Tiger Paw stuff, which was the shit back in the day. That was awesome in 66, 67. For a lot of the red lines and stuff, the Tiger Paws came on the Pontiacs and some of your Chevelles and everything. They really cool looking and stuff, and I think they're good. And then that goes into a whole thing about tire size. 14 and 15 were standard order tire sizes back then that came from the factory on a lot of the cars, and now they're putting on these humongous 20s, 21s, 22s, all the way up to the 24 donk wheels and stuff on these cars. And personally, I don't care for them. Anything for myself over a 17-inch rim, when you lose that gap in sidewall, and I know everybody goes handling and the performance and all this and everything, on that type of car, fine. But on an old classic car, unless you totally change the suspension to deal and handle with that lower profile type of thing, you're giving up ride, you're giving up the durability of the automobile as far as I can, drivability, as far as I'm considered and stuff. But yeah, I don't care. I'm not a big fan of the huge whatever wheels and stuff. In my day, it was all about the tire, and I guess today it's all about the rim. But you just can't beat a good old set of 15-inch Kragers or Keystones or any of the old Hearst mags or any of that stuff on a classic muscle car, 62 through 72, even up mid 70s and stuff. You just can't, you just can't beat it. But all right, so we're still waiting. We're still gonna see what's going on, but you guys give me some input on what you remember about tires, bias ply, radials, what you think about the different size rims and stuff like that. And hopefully, if I'm able to do this right, I've got a different orientation for the camera this time. If I'm able to do this right, still over here someplace, there'll be some pictures of classic wheels, classic mags, tires, and things like that. And I still have a collection out in the garage, and then probably in the barn, of rare-ish magnesium graphite racing wheels, different Hearst mags, Keystones, some Kragers. I've got some of the Mexican-made Kragers. Back in the day, you had your stand, then you had the Mexican knockoff Kragers and stuff. And I've got some of those. Unilug. I don't care for Unilug. You got a Ford wheel, Chevy wheel, the Mopar pattern, whatever. I don't care for the Unilug so much. Back in the day, I've seen a lot of them break, and I'm definitely not a big fan of spacers, even though I have ran a lot of spacer adapters on Volkswagens, and they claim you can't run them off-road because they will explode. Well, yes, they will if you drive like an idiot. But I ran on the dune buggies, the sand rails, the TRIAXE, all that, adapters from the 4-lug to the 5-lug Chevy or Ford or from the 5-lug to the 4-lug Volkswagen, because they were easier to get off-road wheels and stuff. But just let me know, bt57go4rider@gmail.com, or you can make a comment here, or you can send me an email. And until the next time I'm out, like I said, these will probably all be put up maybe winter, maybe not, depending on what else is up to put up and stuff, just to have some type of correspondence back and forth and have something to discuss that's somewhat automotive if I don't get off track. So see ya.
Damn, that was annoying.